you've only got one. You. Auctioneer Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Raiders will sign quarterback Geno Smith to a 2-year, $75 million extension. Las Vegas got Smith 3 weeks ago in a trade with the Seahawks. Smith threw for a career-high 4,300 yards last year, completing 70% of his passes. The Houston Rockets have clinched a playoff spot. They're second in the West, behind the Thunder, but Anscape's David Dennis isn't impressed.
I just don't believe in this Rockets team. My problem is, one, is that ever since they beat Cleveland way back in January, they've had exactly 2 wins against 500 teams since then. They just have been beating bad teams and losing to better competition.
David Dennis on game night. Auburn's Janai Broome says he has no limitations for Saturday's Final Four game against Florida. Broome hurt his right elbow in the Elite Eight against Michigan State. After winning the Naismith Award, USC's Juju Watkins is also the AP Women's College Player of the Year. UCLA's Corey Close, the AP Coach of the Year.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming on Friday, the Thunder might be heavy favorites to win the West, but I'll tell you why I'm still not sold on SGA and Co. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Woo!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Cat Terrell in 15 minutes. Kendall Rogers 1 hour from right now. We'll head to Norman. Eddie Radosevich from Sooner Scoop will be here in hour 3. But let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
I just realized my shirt in this lighting looks pink. Look at the monitor. It looks pink like the Decision Critical background.
I like that shirt, by the way, too. But yes, you're right, it does.
It's just Snaps. Shout out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember Snaps? They sent me all the LSU stuff for Whiskey and Wine this year.
I do remember that. You kind of look like a floating head, though, yeah, because you blend in.
This shirt is actually, it's you hate to say it. I don't know if you can tell me. It's like orange and blue.
That's orange?
It's orange.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like
I
almost
can't
like
tell right here.
Hang on, look, I'll come by you. You can see.
That's insane. Because it really does look. I mean, it's getting darker. It's getting dark as you come over here. Oh, it is orange. Orange and blue. Little like checkerboard, kind of a gingham pattern on there.
It's Jacob Hester's favorite color scheme.
Yeah. Yeah, he loves it. Can't get enough of it right there.
Didn't he pick the Gators to win the Natty? That's what's on the thing over there.
Look at Jake. What
right?
My
hey,
goodness.
You know what? No one can accuse him of being a homer.
That's true.
He's out there picking the Gators to win the Natty.
That's a good point.
You know that's authentic.
Yep.
But this shirt looks mauve. It looks like
mauve. Okay.
Take that, Lynn Rollins.
Yeah.
It looks
What's
like
the color of the sky out there,
looks
Matt?
like the background. That is cigar ash. You can pucker up and kiss that ash. Anyway, that's a nice transition to LSU baseball. Where the sky in Norman, Oklahoma tonight looks like a swirling toilet bowl. It's raining all day in Norman. But supposedly the weather's going to clear for tonight. It was told from eyewitnesses on the ground, Muse. Insiders.
That's
the
what
field,
we need.
LSU's never played up there in Norman.
They haven't.
The field drains very well. Turf field.
Yep.
Drains well. Should be fine for tonight. But dodging some raindrops the rest of the weekend up there in Norman. So
be cold, too.
It'll be cold. Probably, honestly, the conditions, not probably, do suit OU style. We have seen LSU go on the road and play one true road series, and they lost the series at Texas. I'm not saying that's foreshadowing. It is just worth noting. You've won 2 SEC series at home and it's against 2 of the worst teams in the conference. You went on the road and faced top 10 Texas. You lost the series. By the way, you won game 1, dominating performance by Cade Anderson. You had game 2, and you blew a 5-2 lead because your bullpen stunk that day. So we'll see how it goes. Oklahoma is just a very different animal. And in particular, what you're going to see tonight with Kyson Witherspoon. So Kyson Witherspoon, if you look at D1 Baseball last week, put out their ranking of the top pitchers in college baseball, and they had Witherspoon number 1. If you go look, I think it was today, D1 put out their midseason All-Americans, midseason Pitcher of the Year, Player of the Year, all that stuff. They had Kyson Witherspoon as the midseason Pitcher of the Year in the country. This is the first time all season. Tonight will be the first time all season you will have seen real velo. He is going to be 95 to 99. He's got a good breaking ball and a good changeup. He is, by all accounts, a lock to be a top 15 pick in this summer's draft. This is the first time all year you're going to see that. Look, Pico Khan was a really good arm. It's a veteran arm, right? And he challenged you last Friday. This is a different level of arm talent that you're going to face. And we know Bear Jones can handle this. We know Stephen Milam can handle this. We know Michael Braswell and Chris Stanfield and guys that have been through the ringer in SEC play, Josh Pearson and Jake Brown. We know these guys can handle this. What we don't know is, okay, Danny Dickinson, let's see it. Luis Hernandez, big step up from Indiana State. Ethan Fry, who's got his batting average up to 400. We have seen Jay Johnson put a lot of trust in Ethan Fry, and he has rewarded that trust. It's one thing to go 3 for 4, a triple shy of the cycle in a midweek against Louisiana Tech. It's another to go on the road in 50-degree weather with the wind blowing in against a top 15 arm and be productive. Let's see how that looks tonight against Witherspoon. It is worth noting, OU has lost Witherspoon's last 2 starts. So he's gettable, or I should say they are gettable, if Cade Anderson goes out there and pitches the way that he's capable of pitching. Now, last week wasn't his best, but Cade Anderson has been really good, and he was awesome on the road against Texas on that Friday night, which really gave you the confidence to think he's capable of winning. Like we said then, he's capable of winning any Friday night. It's not to say you're going to win every Friday night, but Cade Anderson is capable of winning any Friday night. That includes tonight on the road, although it's Thursday, in Norman against OU. Offensively, Oklahoma also presents a different kind of challenge. This is a team that is they're sub 300 cumulative team batting average, but they are like Kentucky on steroids. They are the definition of get them on, get them over, get them in. They're going to bunt, they're going to steal, they're going to hit and run, they're going to put pressure on the defense, they're going to see if Luis Hernandez can throw guys out. I mean, get ready for that because it is going to be a different kind of challenge. Interestingly, do you remember C.J. Willis, who played at LSU and then transferred to ULL? His brother is the starting third baseman at Oklahoma. Really good athlete. And you have a Willis and a Willits on the left side. That's confusing. On the left side of the infield for OU. Willis at third, Willits, who's son of one of the assistant coaches, at short. And Willis can fly. So something worth keeping an eye on. He was the National JUCO Defensive Player of the Year before he went to Oklahoma. You're going to see a good defensive team, a team that can really run, a team that's going to put pressure on you on the base paths. They're not going to hit the ball all over the yard. They're not going to hit the ball out of the yard. But they have a dominant arm on the mound and a really active offense. That's going to be a different kind of challenge. So you're going to have contrasting and conflicting styles in this ball game tonight. And if OU gets to the back of the game, Dylan Crooks has 9 saves. That leads the SEC. He's not going to overwhelm you. He's got a good breaking ball. His fastball is kind of deceptive. But this is a guy that has been lights out when he's gotten the baseball. So if OU gets a lead and can give the ball to Crooks, you're up against it. So a couple of things to keep in mind tonight as LSU opens up this series with a great opportunity to go out there at 7-2 in the league. Against an Oklahoma team that is stylistically very different, but good. Oklahoma's 5-4 in the league, so they can get got. But you got to go do it on the road against a really good arm, the likes of which you haven't seen yet. So, as we say often, it's a 56-game evolution. This is a next step in that evolution where we're going to see how this LSU team fares against a team that stylistically looks very different from what they've seen to this point. Looking forward to it. It's a 6 o'clock first pitch, and you'll Central, and you're here on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. All right, it's After Further Review. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the Tigers. You're going to be watching LSU and OU tonight. Make sure you swing on into, anywhere, and grab plenty of ice-cold Bud Light and enjoy it while you're watching the Tigers win tonight or any night. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR and the official beer of the Tigers. Let me knock out a quick break, y'all. Cat Terrell, when we come back, talk some Saints as they're hosting a pretty big-time draft prospect from the SEC at the facility today. We'll talk about that with Cat next on AFR.
After Further Review.
YourGoodWood.com. I'll say it loud so you remember it. YourGoodWood.com. Remember, a simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for HRT. It doesn't matter your age, if you're a man or a woman, it's about how you feel. It's all about how you feel. Maybe you're 40 years old and you're feeling 50 or 60. Maybe you're 60 and you're starting to feel 60. The bottom line is all of us age. It is indiscriminate. Every single human, as we age, our body produces less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness allows you to safely and affordably supplement to where you can get back to healthy hormone levels so you feel like your younger self. Lowest prices, never any contracts. You can learn more. Schedule that consult online at YourGoodWood.com. They're on Drusilla in Baton Rouge. YourGoodWood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
As we inch closer to the NFL draft, 3 weeks away, Saints continue to make their way through their top 30 visits. Another prospect people in these parts should know well, safety Nick Emery out of South Carolina visited the New Orleans Saints here on Thursday. And Nick Underhill over at NewOrleans.football had that report. 6'3", 220, great athlete. LSU got to see him when they played up in Columbia earlier this year. That's a guy whose stock has continued to rise. Could that be someone potentially that the New Orleans Saints scribble his name on a card and hand to the commissioner here in 3 weeks? Cat Terrell covers Saints, ESPN.com. Great friend of the show. Always good enough to give us a couple of minutes. Cat, we appreciate it. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thoughts on Emery, or if the Saints were to go defensive back, maybe in the first couple of picks in the draft?
Yeah, honestly, I would not be surprised if they go cornerback with their first pick of the draft. I mean, look, with the Saints, they basically need everything.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to say that about a lot of positions.
Right.
I think cornerback probably sticks out to me more. Just because they lost 2 starting corners in a year, which, they have other corners in the roster, but, corners always get hurt. So that's probably something we're going to be talking a lot in the next 3 weeks. Wow. Kind of crazy that it's so close. Safety, I would be surprised if they picked high, but you never know. And then, of course, everyone is just waiting on pins and needles to see if they take a quarterback. I think that's the other position that people are going to be talking about nonstop for a few weeks.
Well, let's dig in there a little bit here. But actually, let me leave this one a little more open-ended before we go specific on quarterback. If I gave you carte blanche, Kat, and said, okay, you get to make the 9th pick realistically, right? I mean, you can't say, Cam Ward at 9. He's not going to be there at 9. But, like, realistically, you stay at 9. You're going to make the pick. Is there a player or position that you would prefer at this point?
Probably more position than player. If I were picking for them based on need, I would go. I actually just had to do this assignment a few days ago, and I had trouble narrowing positions down to 3. But I would go cornerback, offensive line, or pass rusher. But then you kind of look at their history of drafting pass rushers in the first round and kind of feel like, okay, can you trust them to take yet another edge rusher and that it's actually going to work out? They haven't had a star pass rusher drafted since Cam Jordan. Cam is my age, so, he's I've covered him a long time now.
So he's super young, is what you're saying. Did we lose Kat? Oh, man, I tried to make a joke, and I think she hung up. We'll get Kat back with us here. See, I'm trying to make a joke, and then it's just the awkward silence. She might have done that intentionally. Just be like, I'm gonna freeze him out right now. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm surprised she didn't say defensive line. Corner, offensive line, edge are the three position groups that she said they would need most at 9. Or we're trying her back. Okay. She's right about edge. Marcus Davenport, Peyton Turner. You know that you can even extend that to Isaiah Foskey at the top of round 2 years ago. They've not had great success there. All right, Kat. So Kat's back with us. So I was saying, so Cam Jordan is your age, so he's super young, right?
Yeah, I promise I did not hang up on you.
Sounded like
I can hear you, but you couldn't hear me. But that was a good time for the call to drop. I was just so insulted. I'm never going to come back on the show.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, so probably not edge. Why corner or offensive line at 9?
Because I definitely think that they can always be upgrading those two positions. I think they have had issues with their offensive line for the last couple of years. I think Flau'jae was a good pick. They said they see him as a left tackle, so maybe that is set in stone. But, when he was coming into the draft, a lot of people wondered if he was going to play at right tackle, which is, I think, where he spent the majority of his career. So, Penning is not a sure thing. With left guard, I think they've just been signing cheap free agents for a while, hoping something sticks. So, if they want to protect their quarterbacks, that's really, they got to build from the trenches. But, like I said, the other big question is, do they draft a quarterback, and how much faith do they have in Derek Carr? And I do think that is a big question going into this draft.
Okay, let's not put it off any further then. Let's talk about quarterback.
Yeah, I keep going to it.
Right. If I keep seeing a lot of mocks, Kat, and listen, I don't have draft sources, right? Like I'm not Kuiper or Schefter or anything. I don't know what New England's thinking. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, but you hear all the chatter, Shedeur dropping. Let's just say hypothetically, he does slip and he's there at 9. Should they take him?
Ward or
no,
Sanders?
Shedeur. I'm sorry, Shedeur Sanders. Yeah.
I'm so in the middle on this. I know people kind of take the Derek Carr issue and say, well, that certainly means they'll draft a quarterback. I think that they shouldn't draft a quarterback just because one is there. If they love the guy, then yeah, by all means go for it. But, it all depends on how they're great and if they truly think that that's their quarterback of the future. I do not think they should draft their quarterback just because. I don't think that a lot of teams around the league, I mean, this is common knowledge, but I don't think a lot of teams really think that highly of this draft quarterback class in general. I don't even know if the Saints did or not. And if they did, they're certainly not going to, play that, show that hand. But I don't think that they should force themselves into a box. However, it does seem, just based on all the things that have happened in the last month, that they don't necessarily see Derek Carr as their long-term guy. That could change. I mean, he could come back and have a great year this year. But that's my rambling way of saying that, sure, if he's graded really high, do it. But if they just are doing it because it's a need in their mind, I don't think they should.
Kat, do you have any sense in getting to cover Kellen Moore for a very brief window here, how he might approach quarterback in the draft based on what he said or what history may show?
He has been they've been in a lot of pro days looking at quarterbacks, and Kellen Moore even said at the owners' meetings, I'm a quarterback guy.
Did it happen again? Paulie, you're gonna have so much to do post editing on this. All right, I want to get Kat back because there's a few more things I want to talk about. Quick reminder about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Get a Volkswagen. You know what's great about Volkswagens? You have great phone coverage in a Volkswagen. I promise. It's like you get 5 bars all the time in a Volkswagen, no matter where you are in the world. I actually can't back that up. That's an unproven claim. I don't even know if I could say that. But what I do know is I drive a Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. Erica drives an Atlas. I practice what I preach. I believe in the safety of the vehicles, the performance of the vehicles. That's what Erica and I drive. We drive Volkswagens. You come to my house, we open up the double garage doors. Erica's mine, side by side. We drive Volkswagens, have for like the last 10 years. So highly recommend. Go test drive one today. Airline just north of Highland. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, we have Kat back. I don't remember exactly where you cut off, but it was actually another very good stopping point where you cut off. And we were talking about Kellen Moore and his approach to quarterbacks. Let me ask a different way outside of number 9. Is there a quarterback somewhere else in the draft that the Saints have already spoken to, right? Pro day, dinner with Quinn Ewers, any of that sort of stuff. Is there a quarterback outside of round 1 that you like that would make sense for New Orleans?
Well, I thought this was interesting. Scott Tolzien went to Hunter Decker's, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, went to Hunter Decker's pro day, and, he hasn't played in a while because of the gambling issue from a few years back. So he went to pro day in South Dakota, I believe. So, he was being worked out by the Saints, and I think he had dinner with them too. So that caught my mind, and maybe it's just because we had also literally just written a feature on him on ESPN.com like the day before. But I guess that kind of got my radar up. I thought that was interesting. I feel like I don't know if he's dropped off the radar because he hasn't played, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting that he went to South Dakota to watch him work out. But, with these things, sometimes you just never know. A great example.
Poor Kat. Her phone is gone. I don't know what's going on there. And she was going to say a great example. Well, hurry up. Hurry, please. Well, don't tell me you ought to do it. She was going to say a great example, which I am curious what that is. We'll see if we can get, we'll try one more time to see if we can get Kat back. I don't know what's going on with her phone and why it's not. She just texted me. She said, OMG. She said she can hear us fine. Maybe I should just call Kat on my cell and just hold the cell phone up to the phone, and see if we can do this. But we're gonna try one more time.
For some reason, every time I call her the first time, it doesn't ring and has to go to voicemail, and then the second time it always works. I don't know. I think it's more on our end here.
No doubt. She said, okay, you could tell them I was going to say Brandon Cooks didn't come in for a top 30 because Sean Payton was so sure of his character. So visits don't always mean they're going to draft someone. That is an interesting point of view. The other thing, too, and that's one of the benefits. Are you calling her back? Yeah, okay. One of the benefits also of knowing a coach or an organization's approach to a draft and a process, sometimes it helps. Like, one of the things that they would often say is, no go, okay, we're having trouble getting Kat. No
it's
worries.
Just not going through.
Okay, no worries. One of the things that, because we have other phone guests, I want to make sure, please test if we could, to make sure if it was just Kat or if it's whatever, or if it's us. But Sean Payton would say, and I think later disclosed this, one of the reasons he loved bringing in quarterbacks and working out quarterbacks throughout the draft process was you get a scouting report on guys you may see down the line. You learn their tendencies, their strengths and weaknesses. So you're learning a lot about guys who you may face down the road. Now, maybe down the road you might have a free agent opportunity with him, or you see how it goes. But there's a lot of different reasons to have a visit. That's a good point. And the Brandon Cooks, when they drafted Brandon Cooks, it was so interesting because I remember it was when Mike Detillier was coming on all the time, and Mike was so bullish on Brandon Cooks, like from the onset of the draft process. Like, Mike Detillier knew how the Saints felt about Cooks, and it was like for 3 months, it was Brandon Cooks. And sure enough, they took Brandon Cooks in round 1. But it'll be fascinating to see what they do. Hunter Deckers. It's a name we hadn't talked about at quarterback. But sorry about that. I always love talking to Kat. She's got great insights. I mean, she's covered not only the Saints, but also the Cincinnati Bengals, now back with the Saints, and been around the NFL for a long time. So I always like her perspective. Sorry the phones just kind of abandoned us there. But I want to figure that out because we got Kendall coming up in 30 minutes. We got Eddie Radosevich in hour 3, talk some OU. So still some guests. I want to make sure we work out the phone situation. All right, it's after further review. My apologies that all that went kind of sideways with Kat, but we appreciate her for a couple of minutes. Let me knock out a quick break, y'all. We'll stay on time. When we come back, a former LSU quarterback was arrested today. We'll give you the deets, and we'll go around the SEC. It's AFR.
After further review.
Right about the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel, Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown, Watermark Baton Rouge's premier hotel property, voted by you the best hotel and the best of 225. The Renaissance right there, Southtown, a sprawling, gorgeous hotel that no matter what type of meeting you're looking to host, Renaissance Baton Rouge, they will welcome you in. And they're very fond of saying, at the Renaissance, we're in the business of saying yes. They can manipulate their space, some 13,000 square feet of meeting space that they can manipulate and configure however you need to best suit your event. You got a dozen people in town for a boardroom, they can accommodate you with their great guest rooms, all the amenities, but also boardrooms for a dozen people with all the technology and hookups that you need to have a successful board meeting. You have an awards banquet, a fundraiser for 500 people, a wedding reception for 200. You know, we had our Louisiana Sports Center launch party, indoor-outdoor flow near Tallulah. They can do it all for you right there at Renaissance Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam, and the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
Alter Further Review with Matt Moscona. Presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and the Baton Rouge Clinic bring you the 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon. Dreams Come True is an organization designed to help grant dreams for children with life-threatening illnesses and their families. The following local businesses have also pledged to match your donations throughout the month: Lewis Mechanical, Patient Plus, and Action Industries, plus Subaru of Baton Rouge, Service Chevrolet, Luba, and Duplessis Pool Builders. Visit 1045ESPN.com to help us reach our goal, and together we can make dreams come true.
TJ Finley was arrested. Man, a guy that just continues to have bad life decisions follow him. Finley's on his fifth college team. You all remember, from Ponchatoula, signed with LSU in the class of 2020, was in Baton Rouge for a year, played in 5 games, transferred to Auburn, where he played over 2 seasons, then went to Texas State, where he had his best season in 2023, threw for 3,400 yards, 24 touchdowns, 8 picks. Goes to Western Kentucky in 2024, looked like he was in line to be their starter, had an injury, and then lost his job, really due to injury, and then went back in the portal. Now is going to play 6th college season at Tulane, and now is arrested. Apparently, he was in Atlanta and bought a stolen vehicle. That's according to the documents. Fox 8 New Orleans obtained the court documents. Finley told authorities he purchased the vehicle, which came up stolen, while he was in Atlanta. So he was arrested. He's been released from jail. But I don't know the particulars. I don't know if the vehicle was stolen. I don't know if he knew the vehicle was stolen, whatever. Ultimately, he was in possession of a stolen vehicle, and it just continues to show poor life decisions for TJ Finley, who you might remember when he was at Auburn, was arrested in a mopeding incident. He was riding on a moped on Auburn's campus. He was riding without a helmet. So Auburn police, university police, tried to detain him, to cite him, to pull him over, to give him a citation for not wearing a helmet. And then he ran. Like, he tried to evade police on a moped. I mean, like, child, what are we doing? I mean, at some point, you got to show common sense and the ability to lead as a quarterback. And unfortunately for TJ Finley, he continues to do the opposite throughout his young life. So, I don't like to see people struggle. I like to see people have success. I like pulling for people's success in life and everything they do. So I hope TJ Finley gets it on the straight and narrow and figures things out. And maybe Tulane lets him stick around. He's suspended indefinitely right now. Maybe he gets back in their good graces and has a great season under John Sumrall. And that would be awesome if he does, man. And maybe goes on to something in the professional ranks. I don't know if the NFL's in his future. Maybe it's the UFL or the CFL. I don't know. But clearly he just is plagued by pretty consistent bad decision-making. And hopefully someone gets to him to get it right, because when these things continue to happen, you stop looking and saying, why do these keep happening to me? And say, like, why are you a principal in the matter of all these bad things that continue to happen? Like, what culpability do you have? So hopefully TJ Finley can get it straight. We'll keep you posted as that develops. All right, we're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, remember First South Farm Credit. They've been first in agriculture for 1,000 years. And one of the things that differentiates First South Farm Credit is their patronage refund. So they, this year, gave back $25.5 million to their borrowers. Like, think about that. And that effectively lowers the cost of borrowing by about 1%. So if your rate is 5%, this patronage refund effectively makes your rate 4%. Look, if you're buying hunting property, prep now, man. You want to bring those deer in? You want to build that deer stand now for next year? Now's the time you do it. Start that process with First South Farm Credit. Of course, they're not just agriculture. Giant chunk of their business is people who want 20 acres to build their family's dream home. If that's you, First South Farm Credit can help. FirstSouthland.com. That's FirstSouthland.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
A Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Edge rusher Wendell Gregory plans to enter the transfer portal after just one season with the Gamecocks. He redshirted as a true freshman. Gregory's out of Marietta, Georgia. He was the number 179 overall player in the country, but he's moving on.
The Texas Longhorns.
Ole Miss.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Oh, good. Chris Beard not moving on. He's staying at Ole Miss. He was considered the top candidate for the Texas A&M job, but the Rebels have offered a boost in his salary and NIL budget. Ponying up to keep Chris Beard in Oxford, apparently. He's sticking around. 44-24 in 2 years in Oxford.
The Texas Longhorns.
Tremont Mark set to return to Texas for next season. John Rothstein reported the news. Longtime college basketball veteran. He's now played 5 seasons. Began his career at Houston, 3 years with the Cougars, and played at Arkansas, now at Texas. This year with the Horns, he averaged 10 and 3. Started 25 games for the Horns.
The Auburn Tigers.
Former UCF wing and top 10 transfer Keyshawn Hall has committed to Auburn. He's the number 10 ranked transfer in the country in the 24/7 portal ranking, 6'7", 235. Started 33 games for UCF, averaged 18 and 7. He was the Big 12's leading scorer this past season. Had calls with Kansas, Auburn, Arkansas, and LSU before choosing Auburn.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Former Cal guard Jeremiah Wilkinson has committed to Georgia, 6'1", 185. He's got 3 years of eligibility remaining. He was the 6th man of the year in the ACC this past year, 15 points per game as a true freshman.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma freshman guard Jeremiah Fears is leaving Norman. He's declared for the 2025 NBA draft. He was the Sooners' leading scorer this past season. He's the first one and done at OU since Trey Young back in 2018 averaged 17 points a game.
Texas A&M!
And the Aggies have lost star pitcher Ryan Brawninger to a season-ending injury confirmed by Michael Early. He had a knee injury. He'll undergo surgery. Appeared in just one game this season. It was an outing against Cal Poly back on February the 22nd. The senior appeared in 37 games over 3 years in College Station. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Decision Critical, not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. Remember, their professional nurses will come into your home to help after you bring home your baby. Maybe it's end-of-life care. Maybe you're caring for an elderly parent and you need someone there to help day in and day out. Decision Critical can help. Schedule that discovery call, decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com. Get on the phone with one of their nurses. Learn what your options are and how they can help. It's more affordable than you could think. Don't let that be a barrier. It's decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR. LSU and OU, game 1 of the series up in Norman, getting started here in about 2 hours and 19 minutes. We'll count you down. Kendall Rogers will be here in about 20 minutes from right now. We'll head to Norman to visit with Eddie Radosevich in hour 3 from Sooner Scoop. He'll give us all the deets on OU and a little check-in on a rainy day in Norman, but supposedly the rain will pass in time for first pitch. The field drains very well. Hope they get it in tonight, but probably dodging raindrops the rest of the weekend. All right, we'll knock out a quick break, come back, wrap up hour number 1. Is Joe Burrow going to play the rest of his NFL career somewhere other than Cincinnati? It could happen as soon as 2026. I'll explain what I mean next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, y'all. Spring is here, and my goodness, is Clegg's proving it. Go to the Clegg's Facebook page, and you will just see, I tell you all the time, whenever they get a new shipment, immediately they post all that inventory on their Facebook page. These beautiful hanging baskets at the Denham Springs location, pictures of all the different varieties right there on their Facebook page. They've got shrimp plants, the yellow African daisies, the 10-inch containers, $19.99, a beautiful pop of color. You could check them out. The Senorita Roslita Cleome, I don't even know if that's right. I don't know if that's right. You think I know how to pronounce that flower?
I've never even heard of that flower.
I got no clue. You know what I know?
What do you know?
Beautiful. They got a bunch of them at Clegg's. Any of the 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Y'all, they've been doing it for 60 years. So buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life. So why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Oddly, people in Louisiana have become intimately interested in the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's for obvious reasons. I mean, Joe Burrow went there, and a lot of people here became Bengals fans, and then Jamar Chase followed, and we all know how that's happened. As a matter of fact, we here at 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge are actually a Cincinnati Bengals affiliate. Like, no joke. Our radio group here at Guarantee Media, we are a Saints affiliate, but the Saints games air on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. And I don't mean to get into all the technical aspects of everything, but we also have a contract with Westwood One, so we air like Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football and Thursday Night Football and all this. Anyway, but we had the opportunity to carry the Bengals when Joe Burrow was drafted, and so we did. So, like, we carry Bengals games too because people care about the Bengals here. It is weird hearing about, like, you know, Joe's Rib Shack on 3rd Street in Cincinnati when you're driving down Perkins Road in Baton Rouge. It doesn't really play.
You don't quite know what it's for. And you're like, man, that place sounds good. And then you realize it's in Cincinnati, and it's like, oh, well, it won't be eaten there.
You're not going there.
No.
And I don't know if there's actually a Joe's Rib Shack. I just mean like the relative
in general,
local place that's in, on their broadcast. Well, Cincinnati, the city of Cincinnati and the Bengals are having a little bit of a feud. Of course, the Bengals play at Paycor Stadium, and that lease expires on June 30th of 2026. So that's next June. Not this coming June, right? But after the coming season, they'll play the 25 season. The following June, their lease expires. And so the team can exercise the option to extend it by 2 years, but they got to do that before June 30th of this year. So when you look at the clock and you go, man, it's April, they got 2 months. The Bengals have 2 months to decide if they're going to extend their lease by 2 years with the city of Cincinnati to stay at Paycor Stadium. And if not, this could be their last season in Cincinnati. I understand the same thing that you're thinking, which is they're not leaving Cincinnati, and I get it. I would say the same thing. Typically, you find a way to work these things out, right? But it doesn't always work that way. I mean, you just had an NHL team leave Arizona for Utah. We know you had an NBA team leave Seattle. I mean, there's all types of examples of when this doesn't actually work out. More often than not, it does. I mean, you have 2 MLB teams that are playing in minor league parks right now. Now, one of them is because of the storm in Tampa, but the A's have left Oakland, and they're playing at a minor league park this year before they head to Vegas. The Dubs left Oakland. Now they're staying in the Bay Area, but their arena, they're no longer in Oakland at Oracle. They're now in San Francisco, in downtown San Francisco. So, like, a lot of times these things don't get worked out. And I think part of it, what we're seeing is a different era where cities and municipalities, governments are choosing not to go all in to invest in professional sports franchises. Now, I think it's foolish. I've been very firm on this. Like, I'm sitting here in downtown Baton Rouge right now, and about 20 miles from where I sit, there's going to be a Hyundai plant that's going to be about a $6 billion plant that Hyundai's building in Ascension Parish. We all laud that, right? That's an amazing thing for the economy, for the jobs it creates, for all the industry and all the economics surrounding that. Yay! You give them tax breaks and deals and incentives to come here. Yay, everybody cheer. Hard hat picture with the shovels in the ground and dudes in suits and everything, right? Yay, this is wonderful for the economy. Headline news, all that stuff. We don't think of a sports franchise as the billion-dollar entity it is, providing the same economic impact to our communities. They fill the stadiums. It brings in tourism dollars. It brings in all the things that are involved in the economic impact of game days, and then all of the residual benefit of promotion that is immeasurable. You turn on ESPN and you see the New Orleans Saints. Well, that's free advertising for the city, for the state, for the region that you don't have to buy. That's a huge part of it. Anyway, so I've always looked at it like that. I would incentivize professional sports franchise. You're just incentivizing billionaires to keep the... What are you doing with a Hyundai plant? It's the same concept. It's a billion-dollar business that you're incentivizing to do business here. That's how business is done. So do you want to do business there or not? So that's how I feel about it. But increasingly, you're seeing a lot of these deals harder to come by. And there would be no shortage of cities lining up to welcome the Bengals to their market if they did, in fact, leave Cincinnati. Say it again. Think they'll get a deal done and they'll stay there in Cincinnati. But maybe the most, not impressive in the sense that it means impressive, meaning something that made an impression. It was impressive, right? The comment that the Bengals vice president, Katie Blackburn, told the Cincinnati Enquirer, quote, "We could, I guess, go wherever we wanted after this year if we didn't pick up the option. So, we'll see. Like I said, all those things will be done in due course. We're having discussions, blah, 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 blah. But the team's executive VP came out and said publicly, we could go wherever we want after this season, which is true. If they choose by June not to pick up their lease with Paycor Stadium to extend it by 2 years, then after the 25 season, Cincinnati, the Bengals organization, can go wherever they want. Get 2 months here to follow that story to see if they agree on a deal. If not, you could have a divorce with the Bengals and Cincinnati in the same way that we just saw with Oakland and the A's, and prior to that, Oakland and the Warriors, and Arizona and their hockey team. The Coyotes, which are now the Utah Hockey Club, or whatever is that what they call themselves? The Utah Hockey Club?
Correct.
The Utah Sweater Wearers. Are they ever going to get a name?
The Sweater Wearers.
Are they going to get a name?
I don't know.
They should. Maybe Dr. Blake Williamson can go there, give them all LASIK, and they can be the Utah LASIKs. How about that? Dr. Blake's a big skier. Maybe he can go in there, ski. Do they ski in Salt Lake? I don't know. They
ski in Salt Lake.
Is Salt Lake a ski town?
Yeah, they hosted the Winter Olympics before,
That doesn't mean
man.
that doesn't mean that's a ski town,
Right,
because
we'll
they have it
Google
all
that.
over. They like whenever they do that, they got the Olympic Village, but then they have events all over the place. You know what I mean? Maybe you go up to like the ski resort town. Salt Lake is a low elevation, right? Isn't the thing about Salt Lake? Or Salt Lake high?
Salt Lake City is considered a major ski city.
Okay, so people do ski in Salt Lake. But where's the place in Utah that people ski?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Gosh, yes, I do.
There's and then there's Colorado. There's all the ski
Yeah,
towns.
the
I don't
one-
ski. I have no desire. By the way, I have no desire to ski. For me, a vacation isn't going and freezing my ass off. I don't want, if it's cold, that's not a vacation for me. I would go to a ski town and stay in the very palatial lodge and sip fine whiskey by a fire, looking out of the window at the beautiful mountains.
Park City.
Park City. Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
It was on the tip of my tongue, but I Googled it and I was like,
Okay.
yeah, Park City.
Yeah. And then Aspen. But that's in Colorado.
That is.
I know that. Anyway, the Utah Williamsons. How about that? The Utah LASIKs. Let's get it done. Dr. Blake Williamson. Buy yourself a professional sports team. 924-20. Got to do a lot of LASIK to do that. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. The Utah Williamsons. The Chippewa Falls Dawsons. All right, it's after further. You got it. Muse got it. All right, it's after. Kendall Rogers next.
AFR.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Raiders quarterback Geno Smith will get a 2-year, $75 million contract extension, including $66.5 million guaranteed. The Raiders got Smith in a trade with the Seahawks. Adam also reports the Cardinals will sign tight end Trey McBride to a 4-year, $76 million extension. He's now the highest paid tight end in NFL history. Meanwhile, Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson, hoping to get a new contract, reacting today to team executive VP Katie Blackburn, saying he just needs to be happy with a deal at some point.
That was a little disappointing because communication has been poor over the last couple of months. You know, that's something that I hold in high regard. You know, they have not communicated with my agent directly. It's been something that's been a little bit frustrating, but again, this is the business of it.
Trey Hendrickson on the Pat McAfee Show. Former Georgia guard Silas Demery Jr. will transfer to UConn. He averaged 13.5 points a game for the Bulldogs this season.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming on Friday. The Thunder might be heavy favorites to win the West, but I'll tell you why I'm still not sold on SGA and Co. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Are we talking about the wrong LSU offensive lineman for this month's draft? We'll get to that in about 15 minutes from right now. LSU at OU kicking off another great weekend of college baseball. Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball. They got a flash sale today, by the way, going on over at d1baseball.com. Good enough to join us for a couple minutes as always. How are you, dude?
Doing awesome. How about yourself?
Really well. LSU is going to face Kyson Witherspoon, so I was on the Golden Spikes watch list. I know you all honored him as top pitcher in college baseball as of this point in the season over at D1. For those who haven't seen him, give us a little bit of a scouting report on Witherspoon.
Yeah, I saw him in Round Rock a few weeks ago. Of course, I say a few weeks ago, that was like the second week of the season now. But, I mean, he's one of those guys that, on a day that it was, I think, 37 degrees, I mean, he was up to 99. He's going to sit 94, 97. He's going to bump 8, 9. My guess with LSU in town, he's going to be amped up. Wouldn't be shocked if he touches a triple digit. But he's just one of those guys that he's going to attack you on every quadrant of the plate. He's going to have really good off-speed stuff, and yeah, you're going to have to be locked in to score several runs against him. Thankfully for LSU, Cade Anderson will start, and he's pretty good in his own right.
Yeah, Anderson was also on the D1 watch list. Witherspoon has they've actually lost his last 2 starts. Kendall, what's happened in those games when they've come up short with him on the bump?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with him is, his command for the most part is pretty good, but he kind of runs into situations sometimes, it's kind of a weird problem to have, but he kind of runs into situations sometimes where he gets a little confident with that heater, and, he'll zoom 97 right down the chute, and sometimes that doesn't work out great for you. But, I think the big key against Kyson Witherspoon, and I feel like LSU's done a nice job of this at times this year. I think they did a really good job against Jared Spencer that weekend. I was in Austin doing this. But, make him throw a lot of pitches. Make Oklahoma go to the bullpen and try to shut down that LSU lineup. I think that's going to be the big key in that series opener.
Yeah, what do you think about OU's bullpen?
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I think you look at the Gavin Joneses. I know Cade Crossland's kind of done a little bit of everything for them. It'll be interesting to see the role that he has this weekend. But they've got quality arms back there. It's not I wouldn't call it a elite bullpen, but it's certainly a very solid group. And so Oklahoma, just as a whole, is a really interesting team. What they are is whether it's on the mound, offensively, defensively, they're very hard-nosed. They will try to make things happen in a variety of ways. And, I really like their middle infield as well with Willis and Kyle Branch.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Kendall, every week we talk, and I sort of obligatory we ask about A&M just because they're a fascinating story, right? And they're going to play Tennessee this week, which is, no rest for the weary. But at the same time, I think we keep waiting for something to happen with A&M to turn it around. This feels like a very unenviable task, having to go play in Knoxville now when you're struggling the way they are. Is there any reason to believe this might be the weekend where A&M figures it out like many of us assume they might?
I do not believe they'll figure it out, but I mean, it's college baseball, right? And it's one of those weekends that if they won the series, you're not like, in a strange way, you're not like, wow, that's the most shocking thing ever.
Right.
But I will say this. I'm a believer that, if it quacks like a duck for this long, it's probably a duck. And I think for A&M, they've played just very average at best baseball for 7 weeks now, and that is who they are. Even if they somehow won that series at Tennessee this weekend, I still do not think they're a good baseball team. I think what would probably happen is the next weekend they'd probably play bad against whomever they play. So, I guess they could make it a series. I mean, they certainly have the talent, but yeah, I don't think this weekend really tells me anything about this team. It would be, if they played better this weekend, do they still look the same the next 2 weekends? Or right now, they're 1-8 in the league.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this, but they still have to play the Vols. They still have to play the Tigers. They got to go to Texas, to Georgia, to Arkansas. I just don't see a pathway. I really don't. And the same kind of goes for Mississippi State.
Kendall, it's funny because, not funny, haha, but LSU last year started 3-12 in the conference. They finished the second half 10-5. Mm-hmm. But to your point, the schedule lightened up in the back half, and it allowed them the opportunity to get off the mat. But I saw some updated CWS odds this week, and A&M is still at 25-1. I mean, they're there with the likes of North Carolina and Virginia. They get better odds than OU and Alabama. I mean, Alabama's at 28, or is at the 33-1.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's still like, you just look at the talent and you go, but, and I don't know, man.
I don't see how they even get in the postseason. I mean, you're going to have to get to, because their non-conference was so weak, you're going to have to get to 13 wins in conference. And I don't know if you've done the math, but to be able to do that, you're probably going to need to win the Texas series. You're probably going to need to win the LSU series. You're probably going to need to win either Georgia or Arkansas. I mean, I'm just not seeing it. I'm really not. I hate to throw in the towel on anybody on April 3rd, but that's just a really difficult pathway.
A couple of more series I don't want to get your thoughts on.
Sure.
Really some marquee ones. Georgia and Texas, I mean, that's the top 5 series. Georgia's number 3 in the country. Texas is 5th. Give us a deciding factor in that series with the Dogs and the Horns.
Well, Texas offense have to step up. And Max Ballou, All-American outfielder, out for the rest of the regular season with a fractured thumb. That's a tough injury, and without him, they really, really struggled against Texas State on Tuesday offensively. And so offensively, they're going to have to step up. I think for Georgia, they're going to have to play a different game this weekend. The wind's going to be blowing in on Friday and Saturday because of a cold front. By the way, same thing in Norman.
Yeah.
The wind's going to be blowing in there the first 2 days. So Georgia is very much predicated on the long ball. So I'll be curious to see if they can make kind of that transition there in Austin this weekend.
What about Bama at Auburn? The Iron Bowl on grass?
Yeah,
on dirt,
you know what? I
on
kind of like Auburn. I kind of like Auburn here. Alabama's been really good. Riley Quick's coming back from a blister issue this weekend. But I really think if you look at Auburn's games against Georgia last weekend in Athens, I mean, they didn't get dominated. They got swept in that series, but it was actually a very hard-fought series. So I think Auburn coming home after giving Georgia all they can handle, I think wins that series. And then the other one for me, we talk about A&M in a must-win. I mean, Florida is very much in a must-win. They have, Vandy at home this weekend. If they lose that series and they're 2-10, again, I just don't see the pathway, especially when they just got the news that Kate Curlin is out for the year because of his shoulder injury. They're another team, I think, at this point, I'd be a little surprised if they turn it around enough to make the postseason.
He's on Twitter at Kendall Rogers. Y'all give him a follow. I just retweeted the post. You can get 40% off on a flash sale today at D1 Baseball.
Go.
I just retweeted it. It's on
Matt.
You got it. The link is right there on Kendall's Twitter. So great opportunity. If you thought about D1 Baseball, you want to jump aboard, great opportunity today. Okay.
Todd Peterson appreciates you.
Oh, you should have seen the look. You should have seen the look in his face, Kendall.
I haven't done it in a while, so I just had to. Sorry, I know that wasn't very organic, but I kind of had to throw it in there.
That's when it's best. It's when you're catching him napping over there, and he was leaning back in his chair. Muse, do you have the cursor on?
I do.
Yeah, so he keeps it on Peterson. So he was leaned back, and so he had to jump up and reach for the mouse to hit the button.
That was pretty tight.
I like it.
There was a definite delay because you were leaning back in your chair. Yeah. You have to be hand on the button at all time, Muse, like the World War III button.
At least when I'm on here, you got to.
Yeah, no, that's a given. I mean, that's what I'm saying is right now. It's got to have that ready to roll. Okay, so give me one nationally, Kendall. Give me a series somewhere else in the country we're looking at this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look out in the ACC with Duke and North Carolina. Duke was a team that really scuffled a few weeks ago. They started to kind of figure themselves out. And then Wake Forest at Florida State. That's kind of the last one this weekend from the ACC. The Seminoles have been awesome. Joey Vellini, we talked about our midseason All-Americans. Joey Vellini has been really good. Jamie Arnold's has been okay. But Wake Forest, after the past couple weeks have been a little up and down. That's a really big series in the ACC. And then UC Irvine and Oregon State out west. Number 12 versus number 11. The Anteaters, Ben Orloff and those guys, they've done a really good job. And then to go to Oregon State this weekend, that'll be a lot of fun.
He is Kendall Rogers, D1Baseball.com. Get him at Kendall Rogers on Twitter. Go read his stuff over at D1Baseball.com. And, of course, good enough to join us here on Thursdays, talk about the weekend ahead. By the way, you got a pick on the series for LSU and OU?
Yeah, I like LSU 2 out of 3. I do think Oklahoma will win one of those games. But, I think both teams are going to try to do things a little differently, especially the first 2 days of the wind blowing in. Because I've covered series there before. And when there's a cold front that blows through, the wind blows straight in at about 25 to 30. So you will have to hit a line drive home run to get it out of left or center field there this weekend, at least the first 2 days.
All right, Kendall Rogers, D1Baseball.com. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Y'all be good. Thank you.
We'll see you. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gents, if you're thinking of popping the question, go where people have gone to get engaged for more than 30 years. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com is the website, 9 locations and all. Remember, when you go to Lee Michaels, you're going to be thrilled with the experience. It's something that they focus on, but also the selection and the pricing. You go to box stores, it's cookie cutter. You go to boutiques, you're not going to get as good a selection. The price is going to be high. Lee Michaels is the perfect blend. A local family-owned company, but with 9 locations, they buy in bulk. They can give you great selection, better price. If they don't have what you're looking for, they'll find it. If they can't find it, they'll make it. They accept returns as well because they want her to be thrilled. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Check them out, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us on this Thursday edition of AFR. Eddie Radosevich covers OU for Sooner Scoop. He'll be here in 1 hour, so we'll get the OU perspective on this series. It's a big one. Kendall picked LSU 2 out of 3. A lean with him there with LSU. But we did see the Tigers lose their only true road series of the year so far at Texas, 2 out of 3. And it was a series where LSU led 5-2 in Game 2 in the 5th and let it get away because the bullpen couldn't close it. So I don't know that LSU has fixed their bullpen issues in the couple weeks since, but this will be a really good indicator if they have a lead, if they're able to get it home. So see how the Tigers handle it. All right, let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Are we talking about the wrong LSU offensive lineman for the upcoming draft? I'll explain what I mean next on AFR.
AFR.
Action Industries and the Advanced Turnaround Group. This is the time of year, y'all. You see it on social media all the time if you're on social media like I am, especially things like LinkedIn or Instagram. You'll see all the companies with their turnaround work happening right now. It's turnaround season. Look, you know that. I mean, if you work in the refinery plant market, you understand the petrochemical market, that it's turnaround season. March really to October is that sweet spot. And so if you're looking for companies to bid your next turnaround job, remember the Advanced Turnaround Group, the Advanced Turnaround Group, the Advanced Turnaround Group, which is part of Action Industries. It's not pulling resources from other parts of the business. It's its own standalone pillar. They have their own resources, their own people, their own managers that focus solely on executing your turnaround. 24/7, 365 emergency service. They have specialty welding services as well. It's the Advanced Turnaround Group, part of Action Industries.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
I was doing an interview today with a Chicago Bears podcast. They asked me, they picked top 10, and so they were like, hey, Will Campbell.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Trying to get Caleb Williams some protection. I get it.
Makes sense.
And I understand why a lot of people are focusing on Will Campbell, rightfully so. He's a 3-year starter at left tackle. By most people's accounts, he's the best offensive lineman in this year's draft. Very likely to hear his name called somewhere in the top 10 picks. Seen somewhere maybe he slips to 12, 13. That's hard for me to imagine just because of the value of that position. You know, the quarterback, those who protect the quarterback, and those who affect the quarterback. So quarterback, left tackle, edge rusher. Those are the ones that are the most valued positions in the NFL. And Will Campbell's fantastic, and I think the thing about, is an eighth of an inch of his arm length going to keep him from being a great NFL player? I think is stupid. You've got 3 years of film that suggests he's great against elite edge rushers. In 3 years, he gave up 5 sacks. One of them was as a true freshman to Jared Verse in his first ever football game. Okay, I'll give you one, kid. I do also understand prototypes. Like, for example, let me give you a non-football related example. People ask about Stephen Milam and his projectability. He's 5'5", 5'6". I get it. There aren't that many dudes that size that have made it to Major League Baseball and made an impact. I mean, you've got like Jose Altuve, Dustin Pedroia, and that's it. You got anybody else? And that's kind of the list. So I get it. There just aren't many 5'5" dudes that make it because you're looking at projectability. But it's not like you're talking about Will Campbell. I'm sidetracking here, but it's not like you're talking about Will Campbell having 30-inch arms, because I could understand how 3 inches might be a big deal when you're talking about split second. Are you at the quarterback? Are you not at the quarterback? I can understand prototypes if there's a discrepancy, right? This is such a microscopic thing that they're trying to turn into a big thing. And part of me kind of feels like this is people who really want Will Campbell, and they're trying to throw out something to cause him to draft so they can get him at a better value or dissuade others from taking him. I think he's going to be a top 10 pick. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in New England protecting Drake May. That is where I think he actually is going to go. But I think from a Saints perspective, and some ask, could he land in New Orleans at 9? Maybe. But the other player that we're not talking enough about from LSU, I think, is Emery Jones. And this is not just an opportunity for me to yell, Cali High, but I do love doing that. Y'all know I love doing that. But real talk, somebody, can we agree on this? Somebody is going to get a total steal in day 2 with Emery Jones. This is a guy that was super highly regarded coming out of high school. He comes to LSU, becomes the starter 2 games into his career, and then starts the whole rest of his career at right tackle. And the only reason he wasn't starting at left tackle is because Will Campbell was over there. So you got a guy here who was an elite right tackle in the SEC level, also was super durable, played in 38 games with 36 starts. Again, after his second collegiate game, he became the full-time starter and never gave up that job for 3 years. And he went to the Senior Bowl and showed he could play inside at guard. So not only now do you have a guy that is a plug-and-play starter, who's a physical mauling offensive lineman, who's athletic enough to play tackle, physical enough and has good size to play guard, and has shown you he can do either, but now you also have versatility, right? We look at, in the NFL, and especially on the offensive line because the injury rate is so high, we look at versatility. I mean, think about the New Orleans Saints this year, for example. The New Orleans Saints starters, Eric McCoy, Lucas Patrick, Shane Lemieux, Cesar Ruiz, Nick Saldiveri, among those five, they missed 31 games collectively. If you include Ryan Ramczyk and Justin Herron, the number goes up to 65. 65 games missed by offensive linemen in this season for the New Orleans Saints. So yes, you have to have players that are versatile. That's why I keep lauding Will Clapp, not just because he's an LSU guy, but he can play center or either guard spot. He's a versatile player that if you get into a situation against the Eagles on the third offensive play and Eric McCoy goes down and Ruiz or Lucas Patrick, someone has to slide into center, who goes to guard, Will Clapp can do any of them. That's why it's great. Same with Emery. He can play either tackle spot, either guard. So he can play 4 spots on the offensive line. There's immense value there. Also, the Saints need a left guard. Lucas Patrick was your starting left guard last year. He's now gone. He's in Cincinnati. Now, the Saints did bring in Dylan Radins in free agency. Ellen Moore did, when he was at the owners' meetings, discussed adding Dylan Radins. Here you go.
Second-round pick. Obviously, you go back to everyone's evaluation of him coming out. Felt really good about him coming out. He's played a bunch of football in this league. Played in Tennessee. Felt like he did a solid job there. And so we feel like it was a really valuable piece to put in our group, allow him to compete at a really high level with those guys. And we feel like we got a guy who certainly could start in this league and compete, nevertheless.
This league. But what about our league?
In our league.
Used to we get our league from Ellen Moore?
You do. There was a few of them in that press conference, just not in that answer.
Get them ready. I want to hear them. But there you have, Dylan Radins, who I like a lot, right? Athletic, former second-round pick, been a starter, didn't earn the second contract with the team that drafted him, but has been a starter, good young player, but is going to compete for a starting job. He's not going to be handed a starting job. I would be fascinated if the Saints looked at Emery Jones in round 2, or if they made a move to package picks to move at the end of round 2 or early round 3 if Emery was available there, to take a guy that could be a starter at any of 4 spots on your offensive line. I understand why we're spending so much time on Will Campbell, and it is warranted. But from the New Orleans Saints perspective, the guy we should be talking about is Emery Jones. Kat Terrell was here, and she listed the 3 positions that she thought were most important for the Saints to address. And she said cornerback, offensive line, and edge. And look, the Saints have stunk at trying to draft edge rushers. And they have invested a lot in offensive linemen. I mean, 4 of your starters, Flau'jae, Penning, Ruiz, McCoy, were all first-round pick. McCoy was a second-round pick, but he was your first pick of that draft. So, yeah, they'll invest high draft capital at the line of scrimmage. Wouldn't be surprised. It's not Will Campbell. If you look at Emery Jones at 40, if he's on the board. Want to file away there. Did I bury the lead? Nick Underhill reported the Saints met with Emery Jones when they were hosting the local draft prospects at their local pro day. Forgive me for being 10 minutes into this and burying the lead that the Saints worked out Emery Jones. Way to go, idiot. Whoops. All right. So after further review, we're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Our Thursday shows are brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. We're halfway home. You can email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show. Do we get an R-Lig? Do you have it? I want an R-Lig from Ellen Moore. Ellen Moore.
Premier player in our league, obviously.
Okay, who is he talking about?
Kamara.
All right. Was that one or did he have multiple?
He had another one. I can't remember what answer it was in. And I couldn't find it in that short window there.
Okay. We got to start a folder of Ellen Moore.
Ellen Moore.
So good. It's just so good.
It gets me every time.
It's so good. Miss Gail.
It's like my Grammy.
Yeah.
Ellen Moore.
Hey, haunt. If she had dropped a haunt on him, oh my God. Hey, love. Ellen Moore.
Ellen Moore.
She dropped the K. Like,
I know.
How did she drop the K? How?
You get tongue-tied sometimes, I guess.
Family. Yes, you do.
There you go.
But it's different when, I don't know, man, like.
Yeah.
It's a very hard consonant.
It is.
Kellen.
Yeah.
Not.
Ellen Moore.
I kind of like that better, though.
It's so much better. I had somebody ask me, it's like, oh, man, I know you don't like Gail Benson. I'm like, whoa, no. Adore her. Adore Gail Benson. I think she needs to fire Mickey Loomis.
Yeah.
I think that's some negligence we're bumping on here.
Yeah.
But I think from an owner's perspective, what do you want? Two things from your owner. Provide resources and get out of the way. She doesn't. She gives them resources and she gets out of the way. That's what you want from an owner. Let people do their job. But when they're not doing their job, then you got to intervene and fire them. But she won't fire Mickey. That's my one gripe. But I think she's lovely.
Ellen Moore.
So good. All right. It's after further review. Oh, I was going to do something about like Cade Klubnik and what. It doesn't matter. Just stay here. We'll talk more sports next.
AFR.
Take that, Greenberg. We're brought to you by Duplessis Builders. DuplessisBuilders.net. DuplessisBuilders.net. Check out my guy, Derek Duplessis, over at Duplessis Builders. Oh, I saw this earlier today, y'all. Duplessis Builders was a feature in Yahoo Finance article. It's up on their social media. Here it is. About making waves in the pool industry. Duplessis Builders, leading pool contractor, introduces smart pool technology in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, as demand for energy-efficient pools grows. Look at that, dude. I mean, I've told you this before about Derek. Like, he is a mechanical engineer by trade, aerospace engineer minor, worked as an engineer, now builds pools. He's featured in Yahoo Finance about energy-efficient pools. Like, why would you hire anybody else? DuplessisBuilders.net.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Join LSU Athletics and the Tiger Athletic Foundation for Bayou Tradition's second annual gala, a Louisiana Saturday night, featuring Jordan Davis. On the field in Tiger Stadium, Saturday, May 3rd. We are giving you on-field access. Register to win your spot at our table at 1045ESPN.com. Support LSU student-athletes' NIL opportunities and reserve your table at lsutaf.org/events.
We've got developments.
Yeah?
Hang on. We got developments confirming efforting right now. Efforting.
Is efforting actually a word? Anytime I type it, it comes up with the red line underneath it.
Okay. All right. Breaking news. Okay. This is from The Athletic. From The Athletic. Flau'jae Johnson did not declare for the WNBA draft. Celebrate good times! Let's go, man! Give me some celebration music over there. What are we doing? Let's go! Flau'jae's running it back. Flau'jae and Chris Hilton, the next great LSU power couple. Let's do this thing. We're passing the baton from Skeens and Livy Dunn to Flau'jae and Chris Hilton. Let's do it. Dynamic LSU wide receiver running it back for his senior year. Flau'jae coming back to win another natty, dropping bars like the Get Gordon jingle. running it back for another natty, scoring 20 a night, blowing up the NIL space every which way. How you like me now? Who saw this coming?
I actually didn't really know what she was going to do. I'm going to be honest. I could see both sides, so not me.
Straight up. Y'all, the same thing I said about Angel Reese, same thing I said about Caitlin Clark. Finally, somebody's taking advantage of it. Now, look, you got to not hate school, which I ain't saying Angel hated school. I'm not saying Caitlin Clark hated school. What I'm saying is sometimes you just don't want to be in school. Like, let me just go do whatever I want to do. But there's no denying there is more attention, more eyeballs on women's college basketball than the WNBA. That is inarguable. The deals that conferences have with the TV networks put more exposure and more eyeballs on women's college basketball than the WNBA. Playing in tiny arenas on Indian reservations in the middle of the desert. Like, that's what they do. Ain't nobody go to those games except when Caitlin Clark's playing. They make 75 G's a year. Yeah, Caitlin Clark. Yeah, Flau'jae. Stay at LSU with that brand across your chest. Play for Kim Mulkey, where she's like going after KLSU kids in post-game press conferences, and it's viral. Win a natty at LSU, where Angel Reese does You Can't See Me, then all of a sudden they're doing parody skits on SNL. Yeah! You want to build your brand? You build it bigger at LSU than you can in the WNBA. That ain't true in the NFL now. That's not true in Major League Baseball. That's not true in college basketball. It's true in the WNBA. I love it, dude. You know, we just saw the Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn GQ shoot.
I saw it. I did.
You know, Flau'jae and Chris Hilton did a shoot. Did you see? It wasn't like GQ, but like they did their own shoot, put it on social.
I think I remember that.
You didn't see that?
I know. I think it was around Christmas, wasn't it? Weren't they in like Christmas clothes or something like that?
Sounds right.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Like, let's get Chris Hilton, Flau'jae. Here, look. This is good. Here's one of the shots.
Oh, they were in their Letterman jackets. Look at that.
I don't think this was.
That's not the one I'm thinking of.
Sponsored by anybody. Look, here's some of them. Look at
That's cool. I like that.
A power couple, dude. He's holding up a football. She's holding up a basketball. They got a little smooch going on. Tell you what, man. Oh, they were recreating Love and Basketball.
Hey.
That's what they were doing. Love that. But he's got a football in his hand.
Yeah.
Anyway, love this. I guess it's confirmed. I mean, The Athletic is as good of a source as any, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
We got to go with that. I mean, I wanted to make sure, like, really had it sure. Come on, Flau'jae, let's go.
I'm fired up about it, man. I really am.
Kim Mulkey was thanking Flau'jae after the postgame like she had played her last game ever at LSU, which I think most assumed she had. Flau'jae sticking around. Let's go, NIL. Let's go. Let's go. All right. It's after further review. Fired up about that. Flau'jae hanging around another year in Baton Rouge, according to The Athletic. Remember, the WNBA draft is in like 2 weeks. So what's the date on? Is it the 17th? Do I have that right? Can you please Google the WNBA draft date? And if you need me to do it, I can, Muse, because you know. Moscona gives the best Google.
April 14th.
It was close. April 14th. So the 14th is so like less than 2 weeks away. So like it's a very quick turnaround from Final Four national championship here to the WNBA draft. So Flau'jae, though, apparently did not declare for the WNBA draft. So she'll be back for another year in Baton Rouge. Love that, man. It's fantastic news. Great for the program, obviously, but I think it's great for her too. Like I'm not looking at that strictly through a self-centered lens of an LSU-centric lens. Yes, I mean, I want LSU to win. I want Flau'jae to be there. I wanted to help him with all that stuff. But it's true. Look, I got an email of the I got to find it. Women's NCAA tournament. God dog it. Of course, now I'm trying to do. Forgive me, y'all. I'm trying to do this on the fly. But anyway, I'm on an email list from ESPN PR about, and so they'll send you things like, here it is. Yep, found it. So, ESPN's platform scored the second most watched Sweet 16 Elite 8 round NCAA women's tournament games on record. Second most on record, by the way. The most viewed, here's the graphic. If you're interested, Paul, you can pull this up. TCU Texas had 2.3 million viewers. USC and UConn got 3 million. Duke, South Carolina, 3.1. LSU, UCLA, 3.4 million viewers. Yeah, peaked at 4.4. Why? Kim, Flau'jae, they're a bigger brand than all the other schools. I mean, it's undeniable. So yes, Flau'jae coming back to play for LSU is better for her brand. Great for LSU too. Than going to the WNBA. I mean, unless you're playing with or against Caitlin Clark, ain't nobody watching WNBA. It's just what it is. Love that. Okay. Let me know get a break. Fired up for it. If you want to react, you can. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Hey, we're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. You can find the location nearest you at ShawBillsTire.com. Again, ShawBillsTire.com. If you need tires, buy the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. ShawBillsTire.com. Go to the website, hit the promotions tab at the top. Super easy. It'll list every single special that they got going on. And they do a great job of pairing the manufacturer offer with their in-house offer. So you can always get the best deal possible on tires. They want to sell you the best tires at the cheapest price. It's that simple. It's Shaw Bills. And they'll treat you like family. It's why you keep coming back year after year after year. Miss Beth Barron told you, Modern Tire Dealer of the Year, a national award from Shaw Bills this year because, well, they're awesome. It's Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Okay. What a day, man. That fires me up. We got LSU baseball against Oklahoma in an hour and 15 minutes. We're heading up to Norman 30 minutes from right now. Our buddy Eddie Radosevich will be here. Give us a little bit of a peek behind the curtain at this OU baseball team from the OU perspective. We should have the LSU lineup posted before we go off air. Otter locks are already live at LouisianaSports.net. If you want them, you can get them. We'll come back. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros. Man, we got a ton to do, and glad you're hanging out. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge.
After further review.
All right, y'all. Tomorrow is a Friday in Lent. You know that. Time to go load up on seafood. The place you go, of course, is Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Also, y'all, this is so good. This is a Friday-only deal. Forgot about this. I was about to tell you about the truckload sale, which you can find out more on other social media. But Friday only, first of the season, fresh, soft shell crabs, $7.99 each at Rouse's. Friday only. Again, Friday, tomorrow, Friday in Lent. Every Rouse's location, these are the first of the season, fresh, soft shell crabs, $7.99 each. Check them out at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. You get them at Rouse's, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Love telling you about Rouse's, gosh, especially during Fridays and Lent, man, because this is the time where you're going to be loading up on seafood. No better place to go than Rouse's. This feels like home.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
All right, we are wrapping up hour number 2. Always love telling you about Decision Critical. Flau'jae, the team over there, does awesome work. Look, we've had fun. They've been in studio before, giving me an IV live on the air. Maybe you're feeling under the weather. They'll come to you, give you that IV, that B12 shot. Maybe you need something more. Maybe you need round-the-clock care for an elderly parent or a family member. Maybe you're home with a new baby and you need help as you're working. It doesn't matter what it is. In-home nursing care from the best nurses you'll find. It's Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. They're a great Thursday sponsor here on AFR. We're thrilled to be partnered with them. Musso, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Man, it was a huge day for Alex Bregman over at Camden Yards. 3 for 5, got the scoring started for the Red Sox in the top of the first. A 2-run homer to open it up 2-0. He would follow that up with 2 more doubles, drive in a total of 3 on the day, score twice. His average was 231 heading into the game. It is 290 leaving the game. Massive, massive day for Alex Bregman. Minor League Baseball opening day. That's today. That's Thursday. Opening night, really, around all levels of the minor league. So thought few of the guys that we tracked during spring training would let you know where they're starting their minor league seasons. Obviously, we told you a few weeks ago, Trey Morgan assigned to the AAA Durham Bulls in the Rays organization. Paul Gervais, former teammate of Trey Morgan's at LSU, will also start with the Durham Bulls in AAA this season. Ty Floyd, who got a spring training invite with the Cincinnati Reds, he will start Single A Daytona Tortugas. So good.
Like the rum?
Yes. Love that. Eric Raisman.
This is the day.
There you go. I was going to say like Pirates of the Caribbean, but yes.
In the land of Tortuga.
And the Lonely Island Boys. Eric Raisman, who was up in spring training with the Yankees, he will start in AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Jaden Hill will start in Triple-A Albuquerque Isotopes with the Rockies. Well, how about Cam Sanders? We've been following Cam Sanders a lot.
You cowards!
Yep. He's with the Pirates now.
Yeah.
He's starting Double-A in their Double-A affiliate with Altoona. And then Gage Jump. Gage Jump will start Single-A Lansing Lugnuts with the the Sacramento A's this season.
The Lansing Lugnuts, if I'm not mistaken, I think Brian Terrio is a former Lansing Lugnut.
Oh, you'll have to ask him tomorrow, or you can just text him right now. NBA action a night ago. Tari Eason, near double-double. I mean, just missed it. 15 points, fell 1 rebound shy. He ended up with 9, but it was in a start. He also had 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. He was awesome. He was plus 33. Pretty good. And Naz Reid, he's eligible to return tonight from his suspension for fighting the entire Detroit Pistons team. They play the Nuggets.
Yeah, State maybe would have won that fight
tonight. Yeah, probably. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Parrish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor. Remember Parrish Restoration. They've got the patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. It's Parrish Restoration. What?
Parrish Restoration. Is that what your restoration?
That's what I said. Parrish Restoration.
There you go.
They have the Sprinter vans. So, I mean, we're all at the same big office there on Lavo Lane. So whenever I go to like meetings for Parrish Construction and Roofing, past the office, and they have the Sprinter vans for Parrish Restoration. And so they'll come to your house or your place of business or your office, and they got all the hoses that are all lined up in the Sprinter vans, and they'll come and they'll spray your home or your office or your vehicle or your commercial building, your church, your school, your medical facility, your workout facility, whatever. The fog will dwell. It'll kill everything down to the spores. As soon as it dissipates, you're back in, free and clear, clean smelling. Thanks to Parrish Restoration. Go to parrishrestoration.com. Parrishrestoration.com. That's the website. Why are you laughing? That's the website.
You're saying restoration funny. Why are you doing that?
It's not a funny word.
The way you're saying it is funny.
Saying what?
Restoration. That's what you were doing. Yep.
I didn't do that.
You did.
I said parrishrestoration.com.
That's not what you said.
That is exactly what I said.
Right there, it's what you said.
Of course, it's what I've been saying this whole time. I mean, you went Parrish Restoration.
That's what you did.
That's what you did. I heard you do it. We'll roll back the tape if we need to. Hour 3 is coming up after SportsCenter. Ooh, we got a mock draft that has Shadur going to the Saints. It's happening, Muse. Here he comes. Coach Prime living in NOLA. Let's go. Do it.
After further review.
Hey, I love telling you about Relief Windows. Windows door siding. They do shutters as well. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Of course, there's a lot of companies that pop up and they say, hey, make sure you shop around and all that stuff. Here's the thing I'll tell you. If you want to go get a bunch of companies to bid a job, that's fine. But understand that with Relief Windows, they're never going to be the cheapest. So if you're shopping price, if you're just shopping price, then save yourself and Relief Windows and everybody the time, because they're not going to be the cheapest because they can't be. They sell a premium product window, door, siding, shutters, all of it. But on top of that, the level of service. Remember what your mom said when you were little. You get what you pay for. The level of service they provide. They actually have a true service department. It's the service after the sale with Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. and the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. New Raiders quarterback Geno Smith will get a new 2-year, $75 million extension. That from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Smith's deal now runs through the 2027 season. Also from Adam, Trey McBride of the Cardinals is now the highest paid tight end in league history. He'll get a 4-year extension worth $76 million, topping the Chiefs' Travis Kelce in average salary. Rockets forward Dylan Brooks gets an automatic 1-game suspension after picking up his 16th technical of the season Wednesday night. Brooks will miss tomorrow night's game against the Thunder. The end of the NBA regular season just 10 days away, so who gets your MVP vote? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Thunder or Nikola Jokic of the Nuggets? ESPN's Ramona Shelburne.
I feel like I'm voting for Shai because they've just been so far out in front of everyone, and he's led to team success, right? So when it's close, I usually opt for the person who leads to the most team success.
Ramona Shelburne on Clinton and Friends.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You, sir. And Mr. Toby Time Plate. All right. right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Eddie Radosevich of Sooner Scoop in 15 minutes. Talk LSU-OU. We should have the lineup posted here before we're gone, as first pitch is 58 minutes away with LSU and Oklahoma, game one of their 3-game series in Norman. We'll talk plenty about that. If you're just joining us, just knocking off of work, if you haven't heard the news yet, we got it up over at LouisianaSports.net. According to The Athletic, Flau'jae Johnson is returning to LSU for her senior season. The deadline to declare for the NBA draft has passed, and Flau'jae reportedly did not enter her name, which means she is returning to college basketball for a senior season. We don't have confirmation from Flau'jae yet or from anyone at LSU. However, The Athletic is reporting that Flau'jae did not enter her name in the draft. The deadline was yesterday on the 2nd for teams that played in the Elite Eight to enter their name. She didn't, reportedly, and that's the case, means Flau'jae is returning. So massive news for LSU women's basketball, the LSU brand as a whole. But when we hear something from Flau'jae or from LSU officially, we'll pass that along. But I'm good with it. I mean, The Athletic feels like that's as good. There's 2 different reporters independent or co-reporting from The Athletic that the news that Flau'jae did not enter her name in the draft. So that being the case, Flau'jae will return to college for a 4th season. And great for LSU. Okay, it's after further review, and glad you're rolling along with us here. Appreciate our friends over at Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. If you're watching on YouTube or WBTR, thanks. Yes, my shirt looks like it matches the pink on the set today, but as we determined in hour 1, and Muse can confirm, this is not a pink shirt. However, I do like the color pink. Nothing against the color pink at all.
Good color.
I think men wearing pink is fine.
Same.
Especially breast cancer awareness.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and aunt, both breast cancer survivors. Let's go. But this is a Jacob Hester special. This is orange and blue.
Yeah, I can't confirm.
Showed it Muse up close. It's just, I think the lighting. Paul, what did you do to the lights? Did you put mauve lighting on me?
I may have adjusted them a little bit.
Looks like it. It is uncanny, doesn't it? Look, it almost matches the panel exactly.
Yeah, I mean, especially like when you're watching the screen, but even just looking at you here, like it blends in. Like you can see it from here with the lights.
I'm gonna make a note not to wear this shirt again on Thursday because, I mean, I blend right. It's like a green screen.
Yeah, it's camouflage.
Where you
just
green
screen, yeah.
If you wear a green shirt on the green screen, then anything green doesn't show up. So I'm like a disembodied head and arms just floating around here.
Like someone's wearing green in front of the green screen. It's like the traffic report, and they just have the traffic on them. So I think that's hilarious every time.
Straight through them, it's just their head.
So good.
Yeah, every time. Josh Edwards at CBS put out an NFL mock draft. He's got Will Campbell going number 4 to New England. Maybe the big news, and this is why Muse sent me this link earlier, he's got Mason Taylor in the first round.
Mason Taylor!
32 to Philly. I wouldn't be super shocked if Mason Taylor sneaks into round 1.
Mason Taylor!
We see that often every year. There's always guys who end up popping in round 1 that we didn't think would be, and there's always guys who seem to be a lock for round 1 that fall out. I mean, that's pretty common in every draft. Last year, Ricky Pearsall went 31 to San Francisco. He's a very good player at Florida and at Arizona State prior. We interviewed him at SEC Media Days. Good dude. Went through an awful situation where he was shot and came back in San Francisco. Came back to play in his rookie season, which is amazing. But nobody had him going round 1. Clyde was a big surprise going 32 to Kansas City in the 2020 draft, the last pick around 1. Go back to 2010, 15 years. Tim Tebow. This is a big controversial thing. Denver traded up to go get Tebow in the 20s. So there's always surprises in the draft. So it would not surprise me in the least that as much as Mason Taylor has risen in this process, that from what seemed like maybe an early day 3 to a day 2 pick, now you're looking at like high day 2. We've seen him mocked. Ross Jackson put out a mock earlier this week at LouisianaSports.net where he had Mason Taylor mocked 40th to the Saints.
Mason Taylor!
So if there's a team that loves him at the end of round 1, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, he's got great pedigree. His dad's a Hall of Famer. His uncle's a Hall of Famer. He's the best receiving tight end in the history of LSU football, and continued to build himself physically into a really good blocker to where he's become at 250 pounds, 6'5", 250, the prototype of what the modern NFL tight end is. Someone who's big enough to move bodies and help you in the run game, but athletic enough to be a problem as a pass catcher. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Now, Philly might surprise me because they got Dallas Goedert. Like, it feels like you're pretty good at tight end, but I don't know. But Muse sent this to me because of Mason Taylor in round 1.
Mason Taylor!
But you buried the lead, Muse. That's not the story in this mock draft. In Josh Edwards' mock draft over at CBS, he's got Shedeur Sanders going 9 to the Saints. So we are starting to see that more and more and more of Shedeur slipping. Now, I don't have draft sources. I don't know anybody that's scouting film for the New England Patriots. I don't know the ownership group in Vegas to see what they're thinking about. I don't know. I'm reading reports like y'all are reading reports. So I keep seeing all the stuff about Shedeur's draft stock slipping, and I'll tell you this much is something I've learned over my years of doing this, which is believe nothing, but consider everything. But so much of the draft process, I do know, because I do know agents, is that they plant stories intentionally. Maybe you plant a story. That's why you always see these negative stories released on the eve of the draft. Player had a tweet 15 years ago, and it comes back to haunt. They're trying to get another player stock to drop to potentially increase their player stock, or they leak a story about a team's interest in their player to try to drive interest in their player. It's a game that's played. And so you don't know what smoke signal is actually real. So, but there's a lot of chatter about Shedeur dropping. Now, I don't know that I really believe he's going to get to the Saints at 9. This is still a quarterback-centric and quarterback-needy league, and there are teams that I think would love to have Shedeur Sanders. I think the Giants at 3. It's hard for me to imagine the Giants not taking him at 3. And I understand they've got Jameis and they've got Russ. I get it. I mean, I know where they are, but you have an opportunity in New York, in that market, to add Deion's kid. I mean, it makes too much sense that would happen. But I'm going to continue to say it. If Shedeur is there at 9 and the Saints pick him, I'd be over the moon. I think he's got a lot to like. From the pedigree to the productivity in college to getting the hell kicked out of him at Colorado the last 2 years and never complaining about it. Clearly, he has a great football-centric system and a sports system with his family. I mean, I would love it if Shedeur ended up in New Orleans at 9. I would not be okay trading up. But you're starting to see it more and more. Not the Saints trading up, just Shedeur falling to 9 and the Saints pulling the trigger there. I think that, for me, through the Saints lens, thinking about the draft coming up 3 weeks from today, that for me is the most intriguing storyline. Because at 9, with all the needs the Saints have, again, you could pick darn near any position on the board and we'll be thrilled about it. Because you're picking top 10 and you need everything. So whatever you get, you're going to get a good player at a position of need. So you're going to check that box. But one time in their history, once have they taken a quarterback in round 1. We've talked about it a bunch. Archie Manning, 1972. So it hasn't happened in my lifetime. That was a decade before I was born. I'm 42 years old. I was born in 1982. It had been a decade when I was born since the Saints drafted Archie Manning. So it's been a long time, y'all. It's been 50 years. since the Saints have drafted a quarterback at the first round. So, yeah, if they pull the trigger on Shedeur at 9, I'd say that's a pretty giant storyline if he's there, so we'll follow it. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We'll sip of my Evermore here. Delicious. EVAMOR, Evermore.com. Hey, when you walk into your local retailer, if they don't have Evermore, make sure you storm into the manager's office and say, why don't you carry Evermore? It's delicious. It's natural artesian water. It's a healthier product. I mean, you get the big bottle, the 64-ounce bottles, pour that in your Keurig. Use that for mixing your protein powder or your perfect amino like I do. Use it for everything. It's Evermore. EVAMOR. It's a better form of hydration. If you're an elite athlete, you just want a healthier option for your kiddos, for your whole family, drink Evermore. Available at great local retailers or online at evermore.com. EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Let's knock out a quick break, y'all. LSU baseball on the road. They'll begin a 3-game series here on this Thursday night up in Norman. A cold night in Norman against the Sooners. Rainy there all day today. The rains have passed, however, so that's the good news. But wind blowing in on a cold night against a guy throwing 98 miles an hour. Probably not going to be a ton of offense. But let's head up to Norman, get a thumbnail preview of the Sooners from our buddy Eddie Radosevich. We'll do that when we return on AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge.
AFR.
88 degrees today. 88 was our high. It's April the 3rd. 88 degrees was our high. Y'all, I'll keep warning you. I'll keep doing it every single day. I'll keep hammering that message. But you got to get it done, man. Okay, I can't pick up the phone and call for you. I can't make you do this. I can only encourage you and tell you the importance of having your preseason AC tune-up. Because the triple-digit attempts are coming, and your AC is going to be working overtime and round the clock, and you want to make sure that your AC will last. Not only this warm weather season, but for years to come. You want to extend the life of your unit, this is the preventative maintenance that you need to do. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, Refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Tiger Sooners, 42 minutes away from first pitch there in Norman. That's where we found our buddy Eddie Radosevich from Sooner Scoop. Good enough to join us for a few minutes. How are you, dude?
Matt, what's going on, my brother? How are we?
Doing awesome, man. The Tigers are 7-2 in baseball, and people are blissfully unaware that basketball season happened, and looking forward to a lot of good stuff on the diamond and hopefully on the gridiron. Hey, I know it was rainy and cold there. What's it like right now here less than an hour before first pitch?
More cold, a little bit less rainy, but it's a crappy night. Not going to lie. I got a north wind blowing in at about 20 miles an hour. So I'm glad that I'll be in the press box for this one. And we'll see how many more we can get in this weekend. But it is just flat crappy out. It's a bad weekend here in Norman, Oklahoma.
This is the first time LSU is going to play there. Give us an idea of how that park plays.
Usually pretty small, but you're usually, and normally this time of the year, the wind is shifted and you're getting a south wind out to left field. Tonight it's playing like it usually plays during March when the wind is blowing in and it is a heavy wind. Usually kills a bunch of fly balls. So I would imagine that the home runs will be limited unless you really get a hold of one. But it should be a pretty good matchup tonight with Kyson Witherspoon on the mound for Oklahoma against a LSU offense that, numbers-wise, pretty scary.
Oh, my God. Jay Johnson and Skip Johnson. There's a picture on Oklahoma baseball Twitter. They're both, like, Skip Johnson's wearing, like, the big, puffy, like, snow jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I hate to tell you this, Eddie. Y'all need to get the hell out of the SEC, man. In April, it's 80. It was 88 degrees here. And we got puffer jackets for baseball right now. Like, this will not stand, man. This aggression will not stand.
I apologize on behalf of the state of Oklahoma. It might, this hasn't been brought up, and I'm going to dig more into it. The National Weather Service is right across the street, basically, from Eldell Mitchell Ballpark, and with all the firings over there, maybe they don't have enough people to control the weather.
Got to make that happen, man. We got to do better. Call God. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, let's talk about Kyson Witherspoon. You mentioned, of course, he's going to get the ball, his Golden Spikes midseason watch list. We found that out today. Describe as best you can a guy who, by all accounts, is going to be a top 15 pick in the draft in July.
Yeah, unassuming, I think, is probably the one place to start. He's a really quiet guy. Him and his twin brother, Malachi, who should pitch at some point this weekend. Both kind of unassuming, but then they get on the mound and they become kind of monsters, I guess, if you will. Kyson, obviously, a little bit more seasoned than Malachi as a starter. Really kind of came on at the end of last year, and I think he started knowing a little bit of buzz about where this guy was going to be in 2025 and heading into the draft. And he's been as advertised this year. I think he's been pretty dominant. You look at the numbers, and the 5-1, 2.31 ERA, 39 innings, 64 strikeouts. He's a hard thrower, and he has a good mix of just about any pitch that you could think of. He usually tries to throw, but the fastball is kind of where he makes his bread and butter. Has a nice slider, has a nice curveball as well as a cutter. So he's just kind of fun to watch. I think that Oklahoma fans have been kind of conditioned to really good pitching here, certainly in the Skip Johnson era, but even before that, they had a guy that pitches for the Rangers, John Gray. I think that he's a little bit like him. I think that, talking to people inside the program, they think that Kyson, as good as some of the guys have been here over the last couple of years, the Kate Cavallis of the world, Kate Horton, obviously, in 2022 on that College World Series team, they think Kyson is kind of the next big thing, and he certainly is kind of delivered to be that guy.
Yeah. I mean, just a couple years. OU just a couple years removed from being in the championship series. You mentioned John Gray. Everyone here remembers him, Eddie. I mean, the Nola Gray Super in 2013 was maybe the greatest game ever played at the new Alex Box Stadium. So people remember it well. What is Skip Johnson hoping to get out of Kyson Witherspoon tonight?
I think it's going to be interesting because I think that he's gone through a little bit of not necessarily a down period, but over the last couple of weeks, and especially last weekend down in Tuscaloosa, he got knocked around a little bit, and that was kind of the first time that had really happened this year. With that said, it was still a good outing. I think if you get 5 or 6 tonight, I think they're going to try to let him go as deep as possible. I mean, 7 or 8 would be phenomenal. And then you kind of turn it over to a bullpen. And I think it's going to be interesting the way that Oklahoma, how long they stay with starters if they get in trouble, just because of what could come tomorrow and the possibility of a doubleheader, just with the weather and the things that are happening around here weather-wise. So it will be interesting. And, I think that the one thing that you could say about this Oklahoma staff and the bullpen in general, they've been really, really good and probably exceeded expectations just in terms of you didn't know what you were going to get from a number of guys, particularly in high leverage spots. So they've been really good, but you certainly want to ride somebody like Kyson tonight as long as possible.
I know there's rain in the forecast all weekend, but I don't know how much of a future cast y'all are seeing. I mean, I'm looking at rain tomorrow morning in Norman. Looks like it's going all the way to about 3 o'clock. Might we be okay in the evening tomorrow to get Game 2 in on Friday night?
Yeah, I think so. I think that that's kind of the plan right now, and I know that they haven't announced anything officially, and I think that, certainly any type of announcement, if they were to change the schedule for the weekend, would come after the game tonight. But I think Saturday kind of looks like a washout right now, and the temperature even, I think it's only supposed to be in the 40s. They're supposed to get snow up in the panhandle of Oklahoma. Once again, I apologize on behalf of the state. But tomorrow, I mean, there is a window, as you said, after 3 o'clock, after, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Maybe you could get 2 in and call it a weekend, and everybody can get ready to watch a little bit of the Final Four come Saturday night. But, I think that there is a window. I feel pretty good about 2 games. It's spitting rain right now a little bit. It's just it's a bad weekend.
Saturday, the high is 53, the low is 37.
Yes, disgusting. Won't be playing golf even if we get rained out.
What is wrong with you?
I'm getting soft, I think.
No, not about playing golf. I mean, living in a state where it's 37 degrees in April. That's just absurd.
Yeah, it's insane.
We all have choices in life. You've chosen to live at a place where it's 37 degrees in April. That's absurd. Eddie Radosevich is with us from Sooner Scoop. Hey, offensively, give me we've talked a lot stylistically about what this team is. A lot of small ball that run. Give me a little bit of what to watch from an LSU perspective, fans watching Oklahoma maybe for the first time tonight.
Yeah, because there was a lot of question marks. They had a lot of turnovers from last year's team that hosted the regional here in Norman. Lost 75% of the offensive production from a year ago. Really, the only guys that were coming back were Easton Carmichael and Jackson Willett. They've certainly delivered, coming off of the game, on Tuesday night against Texas Tech down in Frisco. They each hit home runs. Jason Walks kind of filled into the leadoff role. A guy that, John Spikerman was the name in college baseball here over the last couple of years that was phenomenal. He was a member of the 2022 Omaha team that kind of burst onto the scene late in that season, and then he filled in and kind of played that role there in center field as a leadoff hitter as well. Over the last couple of years, Jason Walk's been a really nice kind of addition. And then they went to the JUCO ranks, added some guys, added Dawson Willis from down in D2 ball down in Louisiana. He's started to come along with the bat. It's not a team that's going to sit here and, just kind of overwhelm you with their power, but they do get on base. They've been able to move runners, produce, manufacture runs with a little bit of small ball, and of course they're going to want to use their speed, and that's something that Reggie Willis brought to the program here over the last couple of years. So it's kind of really taken over the offensive side of and the offensive approach. He'd be your, I guess, quote-unquote offensive coordinator, if you will, for OU, and it found a lot of success in kind of a new style, if you will, of what they've been trying to do here.
You got a Willis and a Willits.
Yeah, it gets confusing.
On the left side. Yeah, the infield. Dawson Willis, of course. We talked about him earlier. That's C.J. Willis, who played at LSU. It's his younger brother, who was a JUCO Defensive Player of the Year. Now they're at OU at third base. All right, give me a thought. If the Sooners take this series from LSU, how do you think it plays out?
I think that you'll look up and you'll say that Oklahoma executed well with runners in scoring position, and you had some dynamic pitching performances, whether that be from Kyson Witherspoon. Cade Crossland, you look at his numbers, probably has pitched better than the numbers would indicate, and he will get the ball in game number 2. And it was kind of a little bit of a surprise to a lot of people around here with the to be announced on Sunday. I could see a left-hander named Gavin Jones. He's a two-way player for Oklahoma. He's done well at the plate. He's made, I believe it's 13 appearances, 12 appearances so far this year, and 18 in a third inning. I could see him being a guy that maybe they throw out there on, whatever that game 3 is, whenever that's going to be, whether it be Friday night or Saturday. I think you would look back and you'd say it was kind of a statement weekend for Oklahoma from a pitching standpoint, and they would just get enough done offensively. But, that's kind of where they've gotten into trouble this year is they have a couple quiet innings, and all of a sudden you give up a couple runs and you dig yourself a little bit of a hole. So the one thing that you can say about this team, they've been pretty resilient, even in Tuscaloosa in the 2 losses. They, battled back to the lead on Friday night and then, got down 8-1 on Sunday and made it interesting. Brought the, go-ahead run, technically, I guess, up to the plate in the 9th inning on Sunday. So it's been a fun group. I think that, overall, Skip likes the direction that this is headed, and it's going to be kind of fun to see, with some of these big-name, big program teams coming into Norman. It's one of the best home schedules that they've had maybe ever, with all the SEC teams coming in, that it'd be a nice little start to what is a pretty tough stretch here, starting last weekend in Tuscaloosa.
Top 10 matchup, LSU and OU, 31 minutes away from first pitch there in rainy, cold Norman. That's where Eddie Radosevich has chosen to live his life because he's a masochist. But he's a good guy. We appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us, man.
We got a good professional basketball team. That's the only thing that's keeping me alive these days.
That's the only thing you have in that state, actually. Am I mistaken? There are no other professional sports teams in Oklahoma, are there?
We got a minor league baseball team. They are the Dodgers, though. They're the AAA team for the Dodgers. So when Clayton Kershaw gets hurt, he'll come and pitch, and I'll go drink 9 beers and watch him play. I'm
sure it'll be huge for. Is it in OKC?
Yeah, right downtown.
All right. I'm sure it'll be massive for the economy that day. Anyway, thanks for the time. We'll visit soon, I'm sure.
Anytime, Matt.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Let him in. That's Eddie Radosevich. It's after further review. Brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. So Monday we got really bad hail in parts of Baton Rouge. In our neighborhood we had hail. And Monday was the day that I threw up my back. I wasn't working. I was pretty much knocked out on pain meds all day. And my mother-in-law picks up Drew and then brings him home and everything like that. And she said we had 5 roofing companies. 5 knock on our door to try to do an inspection. 5. Nobody wants to be bothered at home. You sure don't want 5 different roofing companies in one day knocking on your door. We at Parish Construction Roofing will never do that. We are not door knockers. We will not be. It is aggressive. It is quite honestly annoying. And in many instances, it's illegal. So we'll never do it. What we will do is offer to be there for you when you're ready. If you had hail in your neighborhood, you want an inspection, we'd love the opportunity to come earn your business. To send good, reputable people to your home at your convenience, to get on the roof, walk it, mark it, chalk it, give you a free, no-obligation inspection report. If nothing else, even if you don't have damage, awesome. Now you have a baseline. So the next time a storm comes, you can reference it and show your insurance company, hey, look, this is a report we had done after April the 3rd. Now compare what our roof looked like then to now. Always free, no obligation roofing inspection. And we're giving away 10 Gs. Who doesn't want 10 Gs? I mean, everybody wants 10 Gs. All you got to do is sign up for that free, no obligation roofing inspection, and we're drawing at the end of this month, and someone's going to walk away with $10,000 cash. It's no catch. No purchase necessary. Literally, all you got to do is sign up for the free inspection, and you're entered to win $10,000 cash. All the details are on the website at parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parish Construction and Roofing. That's parishbuilt.com. All right, thanks to Eddie Radosevich. Thanks to Kendall Rogers, who was here last hour. Cat Terrell of ESPN was here in hour number 1. We talked some Saints draft stuff. Is the lineup posted? Have you seen it yet? Okay, lineup's posted. We'll knock that around when we come back here for LSU and OU. We'll look at the game one lineup, some final thoughts for LSU and Oklahoma, and maybe we'll do the Cade Klubnik thing. Maybe not. Maybe Cade Klubnik is the new Marshawn Lattimore trade rumors on the show.
Could be. That'd be awesome. Yeah. We need a new thing.
Greg Penn.
Greg Penn
will be on the show.
Yeah. Wasn't there another one?
Alontae Taylor.
That was it. Yeah. Alontae. Still waiting on that.
I know. We're waiting on all of them.
Yeah. Well, not the Marshawn Lattimore trade. I mean, that happened.
Yeah,
that happened.
Yeah, that happened. The Greg Penn thing's a joke because there was a marketing agency that was trying to get Greg Penn interviews last spring. And we're like, yeah, we'd love to do it. Love to have Greg Penn on the show. Come on, let's make it happen. And every time we reached out, they ghosted us or it didn't work. And it was like, so it's become a joke with us. Like, hey, what are we going to do today? Greg Penn?
Greg Penn.
Yeah. And Greg's a great guy. I mean, I'm sure he'd do the show. I'm sure he'd be great. But whoever that was sort of, fishing interviews for him last spring did him no great service. Marshawn Lattimore trade room.
Marshawn Lattimore trade.
We always lean on that one.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the new Cade Klubnik. I've got this Cade Klubnik audio from spring practice. We're going to get to it.
Yeah, sure.
It's going to be huge.
Stick around.
Everybody wants to hear it.
Yeah,
what he had to say. Yeah. Tigers and Tigers, the real Death Valley, opening game of the season.
August 30th.
Huge. We'll get to it coming up after the break.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Remember, get Gordon on YouTube as well. It's where you can find The Garage. I love what they've done with The Garage. They literally took The Garage, turned it into a podcast studio, and that's where Gordon is now producing a ton of great content with members of the G team, members of his team, other influencers around the community, and putting out great content. So you can check that out on YouTube. Of course, you can always go check out any of Gordon's socials. It's at Get Gordon. That's the handle on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and TikTok and everywhere. At Get Gordon is where you can find him. And I love telling you about all the community involvement. Love telling you about the G team. Love telling you about all the fun stuff and the giveaways and all that's great. But at its most basic level, remember, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You need representation. Do what injured people in our state have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor DUI, or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Well, I mean, my thing with the team is, you have to win by 3 on the road. It's not your routine. You're in a hotel. Outside of a couple weekend stretch last year at Arkansas and Tennessee, we've played very well on the road in the SEC here, and I think it's good. It's a good challenge, good test coming up. Maybe the next one for this team, and I think it captures their attention. We're playing a really good team in Oklahoma. I've never played there before. Excited to do that Thursday night. Again, everybody wants LSU on national television, so we'll take the Thursday deal and be pumped about it.
Yeah, it's ESPN 2 tonight, by the way, not SC Network. ESPN 2 for the broadcast tonight with LSU and Oklahoma. I get asked a bunch about Cam Johnson, who was the LSU lefty a year ago. I mean, the highest rated lefty pitcher ever to show up on campus. Where is he? 97, 98 from the left side. That just doesn't show up on college campuses often. And remember, Cam just really struggled to throw strikes. So left LSU, went to OU, and they just keep running him out there on Tuesdays to try to see if he can figure it out. And so far, he just hasn't been able to figure it out. In 19 2/3 innings pitched, he's got 21 strikeouts and 20 walks. And he's hit 6 batters. I mean, I feel for the guy. I do. I don't want him to have any success at all this weekend as he playing LSU. But it's such a cautionary tale for these guys that pass on millions of dollars coming out of high school. I mean, I don't want to say it never works, that you end up getting more later. It's just so rare that it happens, especially when you're getting first-round money. Like, Dylan Cruz, people use that example all the time, but Dylan didn't have a great senior year. And part of that was mixed in with the COVID thing. And so he had a number, it wasn't close, and so he came to school. And it worked for him, obviously. But by and large, man, when you look at guys who have those 7-figure offers coming out of high school, and they pass on them, they go to school, they go to college, seldom does it work out. And a big part of the reason is in college, they're not just going to keep running you out there every day to work on improving. They're trying to win games. Whereas, like, for example, if Cameron Johnson had signed a professional deal, like, he's not relegated to Tuesdays out of the bullpen to see if he can throw strikes. Like, he is throwing, if he's in the minors, he is throwing every time it's his turn, and it may be a thing where he's only working on 2 pitches or 1 pitch, whatever it may be. It's like you are just going out there to throw this 1 pitch, to develop this 1 pitch against live hitters. The result of the game doesn't matter. Like, that's the approach in minor league ball. It's very different. So there's obviously pros and cons. The pro of coming to college is you avoid the minor league bus rides. You play in front of 10,000 people at a place like LSU. You're playing in meaningful games. You get to feel that, right? What it's like to step up to the level in competition. I think it's a lot of times it's great for hitters and position players. But for pitchers in particular, man, like, you just see this a lot. Like, I hope it doesn't go that way for William Schmidt, but that's a guy that passed on $3 million, man, to come to LSU's campus. And it's early for him. It's so early. I mean, he's halfway through his freshman season, but you want him to stay healthy for 3 years and realize all the potential, so that pot of gold is there at the end of the rainbow for him whenever his draft time does come. But like Cam Johnson is a great, it's a great reminder of why it's so tempting for those guys to take the money at 18 coming out of high school, because so rarely is it there later. I mean, think of a guy, I'm not trying to just name names, but think of a guy like Landon Marceau. Landon Marceau was a really good high school pitcher. He had 7 figures waiting on him out of high school, coming out of Destrehan. Came to LSU, never really found the dominant consistency. And I know he's still kind of working his way through the minors right now. He's had some injury issues, but listen, it's everybody's own decision to make. I'm not here to criticize any young person's decision. They can make their decision, and if it's not a strictly financial centric decision, God bless you. You make your decision what's best for you in your life, for sure. I mean, we should all be fully supportive of anybody's right to do whatever they want. But strictly looking through a financial lens, it is so rare. And Cam Johnson's is an example of that. And everyone I've asked, from coaches and scouts who have scouted from high school IMG at LSU, now at OU, they all say the same thing. It's in his head. Like, it's just a nervous thing where he's really struggled to throw in front of people. And 10,000 people at LSU was a giant challenge. I mean, you got half that crowd at OU, and it's still a challenge for him. So if he can ever get out of that headspace and let the physical ability take over, he could be great, but it's not happening. He's got more walks than innings pitched right now at OU. He's got 21 strikeouts in 19 innings pitched, but he's got 20 walks. So I don't know that it gets worked out this weekend. Hopefully he doesn't. All right, it's after further review. I'll run through the starting 9 here in just a second. We're brought to you by Supper Club. Had dinner last night at Supper Club. Got to meet some friends, some clients last night for dinner at Supper Club. It's always a great option. One of the gentlemen I was with, he and I split the Japanese herb beef, 12-ounce steak, cut it in half, had some apps. It was awesome, man. The herb beef is from a Japanese farmer. They only feed their cattle these herbs, and so it's created this incredible flavor in the beef. And it's available in only 2 restaurants in the United States of America. One of them's in New York City. The other is Supper Club on Perkins Road. So when I tell you, you can have an experience at Supper Club unlike any other, that's what I'm talking about. You can't go wrong with anything on the menu. I've had everything on the menu. It's all exquisite. Chef Layton does an awesome job, and they do so good of a job of welcoming everyone. The new GM, Raymond, got to meet him last night. Great guy, New Orleans guy, grew up in Terrytown, made his way to Baton Rouge, and working there now at Supper Club as the GM. And you'll never have a bad experience, I assure you that. Book a reservation. You could pop in tonight, open seating at the bar. It's Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com for Supper Club. All right, let's quickly run through the starting 9. The one notable change is that Fry is going to DH against a righty with Witherspoon on the bump. And what we'd kind of seen is that platoon at DH where against a lefty, Fry would DH, against a righty, Pearson would DH. But righty tonight on the bump in Witherspoon. But Fry, who's had a hot bat, is going to be in the lineup. So here you go. No change at the top. Curiel Jones-Dickinson, Milam, batting cleanup, then Fry, then Brown. So Curiel Jones-Dickinson, Milam, Fry, Brown, Hernandez, Reeves, Stanfield. So Reeves, another left-handed bat, at third in the lineup against the righty, Witherspoon. So that's kind of what we had expected, right? Braswell, the righty, in there against lefties. Reeves, the left-handed bat, in there against righties. So Reeves gets the start. Brown's in right, and Fry DHs. So those are the things we were looking on. Of course, Kate Anderson's on the bump. So Curiel Jones-Dickinson, Milam, Fry, Brown, Hernandez, Reeves, and Stanfield. So Tigers and Sooners, game 1 of a 3-game series getting started here in 13 minutes from right now. That game is on ESPN2. And, of course, you can hear it on our sister station, Eagle 98.1 in Baton Rouge, and affiliates of the LSU Sports Radio Network. Let me knock out a quick break, y'all. We'll come back. We'll do Otter Locks. Jimmy will be here to tell us what we're betting on tonight. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
They've done it again over at Glow Resources. Check them out on Instagram. Check them out on their social media. They've got their newest commercial. I didn't get to watch it with the audio on because I saw it drop since I've been on air. But there's literally a goat, like, skydiving out of a plane. I don't even know what it's about. I think it has something to do with, like, the goat of staffing. But there's Jareth Knockan, and there's a goat in a plane skydiving out of a plane. Now, I don't really legitimately think that they go to skydiving, just to be clear. I think that's some cool CGI or whatever it might be. But, like I always tell you with Glow, they're amazing at what they do. But they have so much fun with what they do at Glow Resources. That's one of the reasons people love working with them. They're cool and they have a lot of fun. GLO, glowresources.com. If you're a business owner or you're the person responsible for hiring in your business and you need to find the best people, the right people, Glow Resources can help. Check them out online at glowresources.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on this Thursday edition of AFR. As always, we do appreciate Flau'jae and all our friends over at Decision Critical. Not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. You need in-home nursing care. You need the best. You need Decision Critical. DecisionCriticalBR.com to set up that discovery phone call. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance. Now's the time to get that AC unit checked before it really gets hot. Normally $179, just $79 when you mention Otter locks. Total Maintenance, 480-1000.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Doing great. Total Maintenance is at my house right now, getting my AC units ready to get ready for the hot summer months.
Well, you have been in Fuego. Another winning night last night. We're fired up for it. Let's keep it going. Where's our there we go. The music was gone. Oh, there we go.
A 3-pointer away from a 5-0 night. I mean, that close to 11-0. 10-1. 10-1. We'll take it.
Darn right, we'll take it.
Next week. So this is the last one before we head out of town for a little bit.
Is this our Del Mar trip early?
Going the other way. So going to see some tennis in the clay courts in Monte Carlo. So go check it out. Yes.
It's good to be Jimmy Ott.
Most people grow up in Gretna and just steer toward Monte Carlo, but
yeah. From Gretna to Monte Carlo, I tell you what a life. It's good to be Jimmy Ott. Well, let's make the most of it. Yeah, here we go.
Well, hey, we can't go there without no cheese. Let's go. Let's get Cincinnati minus the 6 in the Crown tournament. It's been good to us. This is a fade against Central Florida as well. Cincinnati, they were in the bubble for a little bit, fell off, but they're just a cut above Central Florida. Keep in mind they're playing for some money in this tournament, so they have really been honest. And most of the games have fell according to form. Cincinnati minus 6. USC though, we are on Villanova, but it's just a little bit too high here, Matt. I think this is going to be a Villanova-Boise final. But Boise, Boise took care of things. They're in the semifinals on their side, but just a little bit too high of a number right here. No, USC is a capable team. I think it's going to be a little bit closer in that one. And then the NIT final tonight, 8 p.m. tip-off on ESPN. The Chattanooga, I think they changed the name from Mox. I called them Mox last time. But they have been underdog in all 4 games. They've won all 4 games. They're underdog
1 minute remaining.
Time in the NIT tonight. They're catching 3.5. We are on Chattanooga. One Major League Baseball played today. Fade Nasty Nestor. He kind of got treated a little bit rudely in the Bronx last time.
Take
Cincinnati
that, Nestor.
Yes. So we're going
stupid
with the
mustache.
Against Nasty Nestor, taking the Reds at even money.
This says they're still the Mocs. Are they not the Mocs? I'm looking at the official website for the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga Mocs.
They had like some peacock running around with a mascot the other night. I don't know.
This says the Mocs.
Yeah,
Chattanooga
okay.
Mocs. 16 teams representing the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
There you go.
Rufino's tomorrow?
Friday. Yes, indeed.
Rufino's? I'll make sure I have Erica send her locks to you tomorrow, Otter, on a voice memo.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
All right, man. Have a great night.
Good luck.
Thanks, Otter. We'll see you. Muse Polly, thanks. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioneer Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.